He's trying to get me canceled.
He is.
Blake, I told you about this.
Oh, I know comedy.
A whore.
That's my chopper.
He's not just some dingbat I found on the strip.
It's a dingbat.
Enough about your podcast.
I'm here for the gangbang.
Look at these two idiots.
Rot your body, rot your brain, rot your immortal soul.
Oh, Paxton. He's special.
You know, I'm fat.
Because I'm fat. I like fat babies.
My name's not Moore.
Well, I need more from you, Blake.
We could probably get him on the pod.
Maybe your pod.
I don't think we could. We're pretty reluctant even to get out the third mic. We don't know where it is. It's somewhere in Jimmy's house, but he's been moving a lot, so we don't even know. We don't even know if we could have more on.
Y'all have taken an upgrade from the kitchen table to by the fireplace, which is nice. You seem very regal.
Well, they're like he's been in Airbnbs, so
Really?
they've been very Airbnb-ish. So one had like a big sign that said "Howdy, y'all," and there was like a little like conversation area there.
It got very Hobby Lobby mom.
And so yeah, Jimmy came. He was like, clearly that's the place to do the pod. And then the new one, there's a giant portrait of Frank Sinatra.
Oh, that's badass.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, with the two chairs.
Have y'all done a deep dive into Sinatra yet?
Yeah.
No, but I want to really bad. I've started watching random Sinatra interviews online, which is fun.
Is he a wild and crazy guy, or is he professional when it comes to an interview?
Oh no, he was like a cut up. That was like his charm, is he was always hammered like Dean Martin. Like they were always like cutting up.
He always had a little bit of a waggle to him.
They had an appearance on the Tonight Show when Joey Bishop was guest hosting, and it was just Dean and Frank hammered, and then they're like just ripping on Joey Bishop, and Joey Bishop is ripping on them in the classic way. Dean Martin just calls Frank Sinatra Dago. Like it wasn't even a joke. He just said that like to it, like almost off mic. I was like, good Lord.
Jesus.
What a different time.
Dude, there was like a 30-year period where they were like two of the most famous people in the world. Like they could do whatever the fuck they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of became like the Martin Short and Steve Martin. Like there were just always two brothers that kind of ran around, and right now I guess it's
So
Shane
charming.
Gillis and who, Tony,
I don't know.
Joe.
Who sings? We need
Bo Burnham.
think about it. We got to have a singing one.
Well, I
And
do
they have
know
to hang out in Vegas with mobsters.
we do
I
have to
like-
go by the Bud Light commercials, and if the Bud Light commercials are true, it's Shane Gillis and Post Malone. They are our guys right now.
You're you know what? You're totally right.
Okay,
You're
so-
exactly right.
Speaking of some hometown heroes, do you have any opinions on the draft as someone who is a ball knower?
No, not really. I didn't really pay that much attention this year.
Damn! As soon as I call someone a ball knower,
Yeah, exactly. I like what I've heard about Tyler Booker. He seems like a good lad. He seems big and strong.
Cowboys have had a
And
good
listen,
track record.
When you're playing football, you want big and strong men.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know enough to know that.
right? My favorite thing about it was just the juxtaposition of picking a guy whose pro ranking like rate person was the guy they drafted the year before. They you know how they give like
Oh,
this
really?
guy's
Yeah.
plays a lot like this guy. His was Tyler Smith from what was his name?
that's
Tyler it's Tyler Smith, Tyler Booker, and Tyler. I don't know. We have 3 black Tylers now. It's incredible.
Whoa.
That's a feat in and
gotta
of
be a
itself.
record.
Yeah. Jerry is a marketing mind before a football mind at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Three? That's
Jerry,
crazy.
Yeah.
Also-
All on the same side of the line, I believe.
How funny is Jerry Jones? Like he loves that he's no longer the pariah in Dallas. Did you hear that quote about
No.
he was like, Luka was my best friend. My wife cried when I traded him away. He's like basking in it. He's like I loved watching football with Luka, and I personally had hoped we would be watching a lot more football together.
I just want one interview. Someone asking Luca, like, hey, did you ever hang out with Jerry? Just, no.
Yeah. He would have to be like showing a picture and be like, oh yeah,
The old
I
man.
know that guy. Yeah, he was like hanging around at a Cowboys game.
Right.
But-
Well, I thought you were going to bring up the fact that he's obsessed with the word glory hole.
oh yeah,
I'm just now finding
Is
out that's
it?
an old oil term.
it is. I heard that, and it was like, well, that makes that a little less fun. But he's still. It
Blake-
still means what it means
Right
and
now.
like you still can't throw that around like we're you know,
It's not
we're
the
a bunch
word-
of roughnecks. Like we all understand what that is.
It's
'Cause
not
we
the word
don't.
you
Our
thought you'd be
minds-
throwing around, and you're glad for that, but it's still not great.
Yeah, us soft-handed city boys, our minds go straight to
Oh,
getting
look at
sucked
that.
off in a gas station.
Oh, now it blurs it out. Every other time we've gone through Bing, it immediately shows porn, but this time it blurs it out.
Wow, it's learning.
AI is really doing something. It is going to take our jobs, especially if it hides the porn from us. Then we won't be able to do anything.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so it was like when they found a honey hole is the same term, a glory hole, honey hole.
Okay.
But Blake, see if you can go back and find a compilation of Jerry Jones saying glory hole.
Do you remember when he said that he was feeling lower than a crippled cricket's ass?
No. Okay, Blake, stem off from glory hole. I have to hear him say that. He's a fucking character.
He's like a Tobias Funke from Arrested Development. He like has that gene. He just says things. Remember, he said Brandon Whedon had a big, beautiful stroke.
Oh man, there's been like a secret stroke he's had. Like there's something that went wrong at some point, and he's just
remember
keeping it hidden.
It was a huge deal when I was a kid that he got a facelift. I think. Do you remember that at all?
Yeah, kind of.
Like everyone was making like little sly, like winking jokes at it, and you could. And I mean, you could. It was obvious that he'd had something done.
Right.
He was a lot like rounder. They would have accused him of doing Ozempic if it had happened today. He just looked like different all of a sudden.
Oh,
do
he
you
got
want-
rid of his turkey neck or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that. He was, yeah.
I mean, Jerry, you're shown every 30 seconds at your home stadium. You don't think we're gonna notice?
But he
And
won't.
hey, you can't argue with results. All right? He turned out stunning.
But he won't get his teeth fixed.
Yeah.
Like he's got shitty teeth.
He's got pride. And hey, women love a fucked up tooth and a man with billions of oil dollars.
As low as a crippled cricket.
Oh, it was after Tony Romo's injury?
Oh yeah.
That's so funny. Where do these expressions come from? Like, I want to just think that there's just one blind moonshine drinking old man in like a Kentucky holler that's just still writing these one-liners.
Yeah, that hands him down the mountain. I really, yeah. I would love like a book of Jerry Jones's. Like, write down every saying,
Just
every little piece of wisdom.
all
that
your
you know.
isms.
I want to hear them.
Yeah.
Every single one.
What is this?
I don't know.
Oh, that's
That's-
Brandon Whedon reading a mean tweet from Lana Berry. It says, "Are we sure having Brandon Whedon is a better choice than not using a QB?" And he's making a really funny face at it.
Dude, he was 28, 29 when he got drafted.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of those guys because he played pro baseball.
Oh.
he was
Yeah.
one of those dudes that
Yeah,
went
he
and
played for the Yankees, I think.
Yeah,
Funny enough, so did Russell
Crazy.
Wilson. That's the only reason I met him. He played second base for the Texas Rangers and the Yankees for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I remember him getting drafted and doing spring training with the Rangers, all that.
Yeah, it was fun. That's I was at a Rangers game one time. We had a family friend that was a lawyer in those back glass offices at the old stadium, and we go to games all the time just for free. And one time, I just felt the energy change because I heard every head spin around in our suite that we were sitting in, and I just turn around and it's fucking Russell Wilson. And you walk up to him, you're like, oh my God. And he's wider than he is tall, and he's not fat. He's just so much muscle and kind of short.
Yeah.
Kind of like you stepped on a Dr. Pepper can.
Damn.
But
Yeah, I could see that.
he was like my size, and his arms were as big as my head. And he was so nice. He signed
Super
my...
athlete.
Right. I have a weird Texas Rangers hat now that just says Texas Rangers Russell Wilson Super Bowl champ on it. I was like, this is...
That's a cool piece of memorabilia.
Yeah, it's a nice little mashup, but I was like, I can't really touch this ever again.
Smiles and glory holes. Jerry, that is not an expression.
You can see the one... Blake, see if you can go up and just get the freeze frame. This one reporter that you can just barely see his eye, it's just like... You could just see that he is stunned. He was the only person you can see that caught it.
He was like,
He just looked straight forward. He's like, is anyone else catching this?
oh, that's...
And then a
He's
bunch of other
classic
Orioles.
Jerry.
Yeah.
He's so fun. Did you hear
Classic
the
Jerry.
interview when he called
And
into...
now he's off the hook for being a bad GM.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of Snyder.
Everyone's just like, oh my God.
No, because Nico.
Nico.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
I was thinking just like originally when Dan Snyder was coming down, I thought that was finally the end of Jerry.
Oh yeah,
I thought that they were going to have some sort of
Jerry
old people
managed
ties
to catch
together.
and kill whatever, whatever he was doing.
Uh,
Allegedly.
Did you hear the argument that he had when he called into like the ticket or something around here and was getting accused of being a bad owner?
Yes.
It was
Yeah,
so
that was
funny.
hilarious.
It was-
It was 105.3 The Fan. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was his whole threat. Was he was like, I own you.
I remember that.
He's like, you will not have jobs.
You stole that from Aaron Rodgers. Come on, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was like, God, it seems so quaint now with like the madness of what happened during the Maverick season.
Yeah.
They assembled a perfect team and then just fucked it away just for no reason. It's the most maddening thing.
Just because defense
But-
wins championships.
Oh, yeah.
Then get a defensive guy.
Oh, terrible. So oh man, it's
Okay.
the worst.
Before we get more sad, I think we should intro the episode.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming into another episode of the Dingbat District podcast. We've got an awesome one on deck. We've got an amazing returning guest coming back, one of my favorites in the scene. He's one of the hosts of the Oddball History podcast. Please go check that out and watch this episode. Y'all make some noise at home for Scott Chris coming back on. Do we have a button?
Nope.
I was thinking of bringing back the Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, I think it's a
Do
fun
a lot
one.
of people do that?
I don't think enough people do it.
I think it was big when I was like a little kid, like my first years of elementary school. That was still a pretty
It was still pretty heavy. It's fun.
hitting joke. If you did hoo, out of context, people would be like, "Ha!" because of Arsenio.
This guy.
He is with it. Finger on the pulse.
Hey, it's 20 years later. It's coming back now.
Yeah,
It's time to, like, eventually What's Up will come back.
yeah. And Arsenio kind of stood the test of time. He was kind of not in the public eye for a while,
Yeah.
and nothing bad came out about him. And then he just kind of came back. He was on that great guest spot on the Chappelle Show when he was like, "How come nobody told me how good the cheese was?" And smacks the shit out of that guy.
That show was so fucking good too. The Rick James bit.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
people still say, "I'm Rick James, bitch."
Yeah, I mean,
Well, that was Rick James's thing
that
before
was-
it was
Yeah.
Chappelle's.
that was all anyone said.
Yeah.
After that episode came out,
Right.
that was like my senior year of high school. I
Oh,
think
shit,
that was like
yeah.
all anyone said.
Fuck your couch.
Truly. Yeah.
And a clip came up the other day for me about when Raven Simone mistook him for Smokey Robinson at some award show. He walks up and goes, "Fuck who you think I am. I'm Rick James, bitch." And every single person in the audience, yeah, basically doing the arse. And they were all just right there for Rick James.
I don't know how they got him to do the interview during that episode. Which
Yeah.
that just made it so much better.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug, and it's something that makes you lose all your money very quickly, especially through
Yeah.
the
I
80s.
mean, Rick James, for all his faults, he was not shy about putting his faults out there. Like, apparently, I heard one of his. There's like 2 books he wrote, and I can't remember which is which, but I think one of them I've heard is like the craziest like rock autobiography.
Really?
And I can't even imagine what that means.
Yeah.
It's Rick James. Like, what? I can't even, but I haven't read it yet, so I don't know.
Wait.
Probably shouldn't have brought it up.
No, but Blake, see if you can figure. We got to find the blurb to this or something, because saying you have the craziest rock autobiography when there's things just out there about Ozzy Osbourne
There's
and
The Dirt.
Yeah, The Dirt.
About Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Which that was a great movie too.
Crazy. Yeah.
I did a college presentation on that movie, and then right after I
On The
went
Dirt?
up on I did it on
Or-
Motley Crue, and then I got all of my facts from watching The Dirt 3 times in a row.
Nice.
Because it also just came out, and who wasn't obsessed with that? But I did a presentation on them, and I just started. It was like, if you're thinking about rock and roll, Motley Crue is it. It's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's every story you hear from Motley Crue. That's a rock and roll band. The dude right after me is talking about Steely Dan, a band I now like a lot because I've matured, but he walks up and he goes, Steely Dan is not about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's about the music. And I just got so mad, I just fucking yelled, shut up, boat shoes.
That sounds like the beginning of a rock video from the 80s. Like some kid being like, I'm doing Steely Dan. And you're like, shut up, nerd. And then Twisted Sister kicks in the wall. And they're like, no.
I was just about to say, it's Niedermeyer, is that his name?
Yes, from Animal House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why
I was
I
just
remember
thinking about that. I think I was talking about that video with my girlfriend. The one where he does the pledge pin line. He does the whole line from Animal House. He's like, a pledge pin on your uniform. That guy sucked.
He was just known for sucking.
What a square.
It was crazy. Kevin Bacon was in that movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
A
young.
company man, Kevin Bacon. He was also a square. I do not like those. Who was it? The Alpha Betas? Was that them?
Oh, the sensitive guys?
No, wait.
Well, not even
No, they were like the squares. Animal House was, oh man.
Such a great movie.
I feel so bad. I don't remember what the
Zeta, Beta, 2.
Tau. Yeah, Zeta. Oh, but that's the real one. Wait.
Let me go down to Zeta, Beta.
Lambda was Revenge of the Nerds. I know that well.
I was thinking about Booger the other day, and now I can't remember why. I think I just...
Oh, he was awesome. Because he was in Bloodsport, too. He was Jean-Claude's friend.
He's just kind of been everyone's... He's just been in every...
And he was a badass. He would have beat Chong Li, but he like started celebrating too early. He like had him licked, and then he was like, yeah, and it was very 80s.
What a range, just going from Booger to just almost winning the Bloodsport tournament.
Donald Gibb.
There it is.
Omega Theta Pi. Okay, man, I did not remember. I don't think they make much of. I would not have remembered that. Gun to my head. Omega Theta Pi were the squares.
Yeah, I haven't seen this movie
Maybe
in forever.
maybe Delta Tau Chi. Maybe I could have.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, gun to my head, I would have been dead.
That might be one we have to sit down and rewatch.
Yeah, that is true.
I love that movie so much.
Belushi was so fucking good in that movie.
Stork. Fucking so. What the hell are we supposed to do, you moron? I love when Otter's like, and Stork. Everyone thought Stork had brain damage. Remember that when he's doing this speech about how we were all nerds once, when we were freshmen. Everybody thought Stork had brain damage.
Or the Belushi speech where he's like, did we give up when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Like, what?
Yeah, that whole speech is gold. And then the way he goes running out of the room, he goes, ho! And no one follows.
Could you name your movie that you quote the most?
Ooh. It's not a movie, but Simpsons, I'd say, was my number one. Like, that's where more quotes that go through my head come from. And then, but damn, I don't know.
I was trying to think about that the other day. Big Lebowski, because I've recently watched it within the past 6 months, has resurfaced as it of late.
Yeah.
Maybe Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
My two are Wolf of Wall Street and The Other Guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
You do quote those a lot.
I do.
Those are good.
I was just trying to, because I got stuck up. That line you just said, it reminded me of and look at Martha out there. Or what was it? I think it was Martha Buford from A League of Their Own. Look at Martha out there. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. Dude. That movie is like, it's so perfect. I love it so much.
Tom Hanks is an asshole.
He's such
just fighting with the kid.
He plays such a good, he blasts him with the club. And he's like, I got him. Yes, that movie is perfect.
There's no crying in baseball. My dad yelled that at me so much in baseball. It's just a turn. Eventually, I'm like, I'm not crying.
Yeah.
You keep yelling that in front of the other parents. I think everyone thinks that I'm crying.
Mm-hmm. This is a misrepresentation. That's what this is.
You're playing me out to be the pussy.
How about in The Sandlot? Did we talk about this already? Uh,
I remember talking about the Sandlot, but
Dennis Leary, he plays catch with
Oh,
Scott
yeah.
Smalls for the first time, breaks off the Uncle Charlie. First throw to his stepson is an unannounced curveball, which is so mean. You don't do that to people. It's really mean. And he pops him in the eye, and you're like, ooh, my bad.
what did he say? Trouble with the curve? Or-
Yeah, no, he goes, gotta watch the curve. You didn't.
He's 9.
You didn't do the thing with your glove. That means
Yeah.
curve.
Right. Usually you have to let the kid learn how to throw a curveball before you throw a curveball at him.
I always
He's just-
remember that fucking hat that he had on the
Oh,
first
it
one.
sucks. It sucks so bad.
Can you pull up the hat? I don't remember the hat.
That was how we knew, Benny was
Yeah.
like a good guy. He was looking out for him because he was immediately like, that hat sucks so
Gave
bad.
him a Cubs hat.
I hate it. But and he puts it back on as an adult,
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
he?
Yeah.
The really old
He
school.
didn't burn it like he was told.
Might buy you this for Christmas.
It almost would feel like it would come with a propeller.
Yeah.
I can make that
it
happen.
does. A modified Scott Smalls hat.
So, speaking of Scott, do you have any shows coming up where people can come and catch you?
Oh, I don't know. I need to look it up. This is like a running bit on our podcast. I never think to look up when my shows are before. Hey, Thursday. How about this? Thursday, May 22nd, I'm going to be doing a guestie at the show at the Beeman Hotel.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, one of those. This should be cool. I saw the room it was in. Jimmy, I think, did it.
Yeah, is that the Beeman's not the one with the bourbon and banter mic in it, is it?
It might be. I
Okay.
don't remember.
I remember seeing the Beeman. I think it's the one that's down near Dallas Hyenas, maybe.
Yes, it's like if you're at Hyenas, if you go out to 75 and take a right, the Beeman's like right there.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's about. I would spend a lot of time looking at the Beeman sign when I was getting accosted by the homeless people outside of Hyenas. They just pop right up off that train, and it just becomes a portal just of crazy and hell.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some crazies over there.
Do you remember
That's
the
for
story
sure.
that broke a couple, like maybe a year ago at this point, of a dude that pistol whipped a lady on the train?
Jesus, no.
I was there that night, and the cops were waiting at this exit in case like they got to that exit for whatever reason. I was just like, wow, that's a lot of cops even for the Mockingbird exit. And
Yeah.
then like 20 minutes later on the Instagram page where all the news comes up, I just see pistol whip incident
Dallas,
on the
Texas
train.
TV.
Yeah, Dallas, Texas TV.
They post everything.
I watched
I
a
would have
lady-
never guessed how many cars are burning in this city.
Yeah.
At all times.
They get
There's
rid of
a-
them fast.
There's a car on fire on one of the highways, literally at all times.
Jimmy's good at his job.
Right.
Yeah, keeping him in business.
Right. Well, I remember there was the semi that had fallen off that high 5 bridge in Dallas, just
Oh,
like
that
tipped
was
over the edge of it.
crazy. It was just hanging off.
Yeah,
Like,
and I thought it had said something about firemen getting injured, so I sent a text to Jimmy like, "Hey man, just you fine?" And he just sent back a text and said no. I was like, "All right, Jimmy's okay. Jimmy's good."
yeah. Yeah, that was wild. I think yeah, man. I can't imagine. You know what he told me? He told me that firefighting, you always end up like really wet in all your gear. You know?
Yes, because you're
I was like,
sweating.
so you're sweating and you just get and like the hoses and shit, you just end up really wet under there. And
The
I was
little-
like, I had never thought of that, and it seems terrible.
It seems so. The little tantrums I would have trying to peel all of that off, just the wet clothes off my. That would bring back the little kid in me that cried when he got angry. Just like, did you ever have a neck hole that was too tight on a bad day?
No.
All right, well, I was an anxious kid or something. I don't know, but I was having a bad day one time, and I vividly remember crying because the neck hole got stuck, and I was just yelling into the inside of the shirt, "I got it on! How is it stuck now?" And I was just bumping into shit, and my mom came upstairs and just yanked it off my head, and she did like the cartoonishly, like walking out of the room, stopped, looked at me, like tisked her teeth, and then kept walking.
You should have grabbed the camera. That sounds like America's Funniest Home Videos.
I know, we would have
At
been a
least
millionaire.
top 3.
Yeah. Old Bob Saget.
I made this point before, but America's Funniest Home Videos, they're doing really good because everyone has cameras now.
Yeah.
So the level of video is really pretty high these days.
Just
you know?
with time, they accidentally got way better.
Yeah. Yeah, just a natural development.
Is that still going? Is
I
it
think it's like the highest syndicated show of all time.
Syndicated, yes, but like, is it still like getting
don't
new
know.
live shots?
I think so.
That's ridiculous.
I think it is.
Are they
Last
just
I
pulling
knew it
from
was
Facebook
hosted
posts?
by Alfonso Ribeiro.
Oh, yeah,
TV's
yeah.
Carlton
Yeah.
Banks.
Oh yeah, I knew he did that. Is he still doing that?
I don't know.
I guess it's really hard to get
Maybe.
cast as anything other than Carlton.
It's a sweet deal if you. Yeah, he's kind of like I think he was hosting game shows for a while
35
too.
seasons.
Poor guy.
Yeah, if I had to bet, I would bet it's still on because it must cost nothing to make.
No.
He went on to do America's Funniest Home Videos, and Will Smith did everything else.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't be
And-
the funny brother.
And Hillary did Major Pain.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say porn.
I wish.
No, that was that was the girl
No.
from Different Strokes.
Yeah,
Different
Hillary. Wait, what else was Hillary in? I know Major Pain. She was like the romantic lead in Major
Oh,
Pain.
yeah. That's another one I quote a lot. Can you
Oh, I
read
love
lips?
I loved Major Pain. I loved Major Pain so much that it made me seek out and see the movie Billy Jack, because there's that part when he quotes Billy Jack. He's like, "I'm going to take this foot and put it across your face," to Bam Bam Bigelow, the famous wrestler,
Right.
who the boys have hired to come and beat up Major Pain, of course. And he goes, "Don't give me any of that Billy Jack bullshit." I was like, "What?" And it was kind of explained to me, but I was still, they were like, "Oh, it's like this movie about this, like, he's like a hippie, like, but like a Native American, and he like fights people." I was like, "Wait, what?" I'm more lost than I was when I started here.
That sounds like that Mortal Kombat character, Tombstone, or whatever his name was.
He could have been
Nighthawk, not Tombstone.
I remember Nighthawk.
No, America's Funniest Home Videos is still going.
That's ridiculous.
Sundays at 7.
And Alfonso Ribeiro, there he is. Look at him go.
I guess good for him.
Oh, it would be a great job, I think.
That
I would
or
love to you just stand there and are like introducing
Look at this one.
videos, and you don't even, just kind of palling around with the audience for a few minutes.
Right.
And you're done.
I'll give it 10 years. Maybe it's in your future.
Yeah.
It'd be a dope
We
gig.
need Carlton. We need Alfonso Ribeiro to
to give the torch on.
give up the throne.
to become a Ronnie Millsap.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we were talking about that before the podcast. I forgot I went to go see this, but at one point in college, I went to go to a concert with a friend of mine because she had an extra ticket, and it was a Cody Johnson concert, country concert. Saw him a couple times. Went to this one because it was Cody Johnson, someone I couldn't care less to see, and Ronnie Millsap. And for anyone that doesn't know who Ronnie Millsap is, he's an 189-year-old blind man who sits and plays the piano, and it was the saddest thing, but I went exactly for that. It was so terrible to watch. He was worked out on stage by 2 different aides, and he's in a wheelchair, so wheelchair and 2 aides. He was really not doing well. Oh, my God.
You know, that reminds me of, I went to Ozfest the year that there was just one Ozfest, and it was in Frisco at the
okay.
FC Dallas Park,
Yeah,
like Pizza
yeah.
Hut
Yeah.
Park or whatever. And Jonathan Davis did a solo show for like Jonathan Davis from Korn,
Oh, okay.
but he was like really overweight. He was still wearing a tracksuit, but then like he had a throne. And he only stood up from the throne for like 2 songs. It was very like, for having seen like Korn, I never saw them live myself, but having seen footage of them live and how like crazy
Animated.
it was, I was like, I don't think this is his best.
Well, shit, I did that. I kind of forgot that this was this past weekend, but my girlfriend and I went to go see Disturbed and Daughtry over here at Dickies Arena. And
nice.
It was a very fun show, their 25th anniversary of their first album. So just front to
Hell
back,
yeah.
that was fun.
Oh
But-
yeah! Did I one time got kicked out of class in high school because all of our class, we were in the computer lab and we were
Yeah.
just being loud. We were just all talking, and our teacher was like, "Next person that says anything is going to Mr. Perry's office." And like 5 minutes passed, and I guess I had kind of forgot, and I was like stretching in my chair like this, and I went, "Oh wow!" Not really like meaning to, it just happened naturally. I was like, "Oh wow!" like, kind of thing. And my teacher was like, "Scott, Mr. Perry's office right now."
He's like, oh shit, I forgot.
Literally, that was my reaction. I was like a player that had fouled out. Like the look on my face, I was like,
Oh shit!
I totally forgot about. And then I remember I went to Mr. Perry's office, and
What are you in trouble for? The sickest thing you've ever heard.
Exactly. It was my delight to tell him what I was at his office for. He was like, why are you here? I was always getting sent for ridiculous reasons from that class, which, by the way, the teacher would laugh at my antics and then send me to the headmaster's office for the same shit.
Right. You're supposed to get out of that. If you laugh, you can't
That's
make me in
the
trouble.
rule. That's the
That's how I got
universal
by.
rule.
Yeah.
Exactly. But so, I went down. Mr. Perry was like, what are you here for? And I was like, Mr. Cohen told us not to make any more noise, and I was stretching, and I made the ooh-ah sound from the Disturbed song Down with the Sickness, the beginning. And he was like, all right, like sit in that chair for like 5 minutes and then go back to class. It was very much like what is happening today? This is the weirdest day.
His reaction was like, this has happened 3 other times.
Yeah.
What is going on?
One time I made a kid, I was making a joke that a kid was jacking off to the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. Because there was like a CD in the issue that year, I remember, and like the teacher was talking about it, and the kid was like, I did not realize that. And I was like, yeah, you miss a lot of shit when the pages stick together. I don't even think I said shit either. I think it was clean. So he was like,
Write that down.
and he laughed. He was like, oh, get out. It was brutal.
We had an art teacher. I think it was like the only male teacher I really had up until like high school, and he was our art teacher. And he brought in magazines because we were doing like a collage project, and he just brought in magazines, just a big, like probably 100 of them. And we had found the middle stack where all of his magazines were that he didn't remember to take out of his stack from home or something.
What are we talking here?
Oh man, it must have been
Maxim stuff.
It had to have been
Was it-
something like Maxim.
Was it nudes or was it semi-nudes?
Semi-nudes. Very
yeah, it would have
tasteful.
been like Maxim or
Sports
FHM.
It couldn't have been full nudes because he walked over at not a brisk pace and he just like very lackadaisically like,
I was
I'll
like,
take
whoops.
that, and opened up his desk and just threw it in there. It
Yeah.
was just like, it's a weird move in front of all the students not to
Yeah.
just throw that away.
Soft porn was so big at the time. It's hard to explain now.
Mr. Fisher, I can show you how to use your phone.
It's crazy like how dead print media is now, and it supported so many like just women scantily clad and like the most obnoxious like
Yeah.
packaging. Like 4 different of those magazines that were like
Yeah, now it's like, well, you can do porn and that's it.
yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
then
right.
every Tom, Dick, and Hank has a fucking porno out there.
Yeah.
That's right. There's no art in it anymore. If you'll allow me to quote Burt Reynolds' character from Boogie Nights.
It's my big dick, Jack, and I want to use it now.
We haven't brought this up yet,
man.
but we have a bomb Nana in case you bomb. That's more for me. And the Peagle, which was gifted to us by Kane, and we've made that. If you have a really good one, I liked that statue.
Oh, I love that. I love the Peagle.
I quite enjoy it. I quite enjoy it even more that it's from a Golden Chick. That's a Golden Chick kids meal toy. Is
Yeah.
half Panther, half Eagle from the Fort Worth Panthers and Dallas Eagles. I think.
I think.
I might
that
have
was
mixed
it.
them up. Oh, there's me with tits. I forgot that I did that.
Not bad.
It was better with the blonde wig. It was,
Burt Reynolds would have fucked him.
Yeah. Yeah. You got that right, pal.
I even look like I have rouge on. Like, why do I... like, I have blush.
Yeah. What episode was that?
This is
Episode
episode 10. Yeah. So this was the first one we had on with 2 girls at a time. And so I don't know why I let Blake talk me into this, but he just goes, you should wear a dress. And I just held my head in shame and said, yeah, I should. I should do that.
It's very old school. It's very like you're waiting on your husband to come back from World War II.
It was, yeah. I can only describe the size and theme of the dress as only one that fit from Goodwill.
Yeah.
Because apparently there are still a lot of thin women that go to the Goodwill over by here.
it.
None of them built like linebackers.
Crackheads.
Yeah. Well, no. Around here it's meth. Give them that.
Same shit.
Well, it's the difference between wearing cargo shorts and wearing whatever clothes you find on the street.
So stupid.
It might be cargo shorts, though.
It might be cargo shorts.
That is an article of clothing you will see lying in the street.
And you should.
I don't know why.
But you just got to hope that it's a wife taking over a man's wardrobe and you're like, you know what? This is
That's
enough.
what it is.
No more cargo shorts and goddamned the rope belt.
That's what it is every time.
It's never a cheating situation. They've had their time.
And they never speak about it. It's never spoken about to anyone. They just quietly drive the cargo shorts away.
It's a very sad story.
From the cargo shorts. If the cargo shorts were sentient and it was like a Pixar movie about cargo shorts, that'd be really heartbreaking.
Scott, I think you're onto something.
I think this is a winning idea.
Switches over to khakis.
Yeah.
You do have to grow.
Yeah.
Switches over to some fucking like J. Crew shit.
It's
Some
like-
Joseph Aboods. But they're such ass. They're not. The cargo shorts was low key like looking out for the family, and the Aboods, they don't care.
They just look pretty.
They don't give a shit. They have drinks with a bunch of fancy friends to make, And then the cargo shorts have to save in the end, they have to save the Joseph Abood pants.
Oh, yeah, and he's got to hold back he's just got to agree to be the bigger person, the bigger pants.
Yeah, that's right. And then he's like, what if we just all live together? And right then, the wife shoots him dead. I was like, I was never going to let you come back.
I don't think Pixar would be too happy with that.
Not for a second. And that's the end of the movie. Hey, I watched the movie Pearl. Have you ever heard of Pearl?
No, yeah. The
Wild.
porno.
Yeah,
one?
it's the second one in the X series.
Okay.
But it was wild. And when it ends, I don't want to spoil anything, but crazy ass fucking movie if you're into
really?
that. Real fucking crazy. And
So what do you mean by porn, though? Is it just like about porn?
So the first
that's like a through line.
Okay.
This one's like World War I era. So it's like brought up kind of that she's like might get into it, but it's like I think the first one and the third one are like more modern times. Like I think the third one's like 70s, and I think the first one's like, I don't know.
I was gonna say if it's during World War I was taught always that they went to factories, not to fucking blowing each other. That is not what they taught in the history books.
It was always both.
It is prostitution is the longest standing profession.
it is.
Yeah, no, but Pearl just she works on a farm and she's very psychotic and she wants to be the biggest star in the world. She wants to be like in a chorus line, like the Ziegfeld Follies girls.
Oh yeah, like a Rockhead or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She wants to do that, and that's her dream. And she puts on shows for the animals at her farm. And then it goes very dark.
It sounded pretty dark just doing shows for animals.
But anyway, the end of the movie, I won't spoil anything, but the end of the movie, they just hold this shot on her face and roll the credits over her face as she like smiles.
Jesus.
She like holds the smile into the camera, and it's haunting.
Did you watch The Substance with Demi Moore?
Oh no, I haven't seen it
It's
yet.
a crazy movie, but they do something similar at the end where they just run the credits at like just this fucked up
And you're like,
shot.
all right.
All right.
I want to say they did the same thing in Hereditary, maybe, if y'all have seen that one.
I'm not sure if I have.
Oh, but speaking of A24, I just saw today that they're releasing a
Mark. Pearl is A24.
Is it really?
Yeah, pretty
Shout
sure.
out to them, and they finally got you on one.
Yeah, Warfare.
Yeah,
You've
he's
seen
notorious
that?
not
I
an
don't know.
A24
It's
fan.
a great movie.
What's it about?
So it's one of those movies that I really enjoy, where like a 90-minute movie is set in a 30-minute period, really. So the first thing you see is them like pan over. It's set in 2006, Afghanistan, Iraq.
Yeah,
Damn, that sounds intense.
dude, it was one of the craziest war movies I've ever seen.
I think it gave me PTSD, and I've never been to war. Like, it was, it was a lot. But the very opening scene is fun because the first thing you see is 20 soldiers dancing around to, yeah, there we go, to Call on Me by Eric Prides. They're just all watching that, and then it cuts to just a fucking bloody war scene.
Nice.
But it's very good.
Dwight is the one who's going to get killed.
Was Dwight in that?
Yeah, did you see him? That was Dwight from The Office
No, I didn't. I missed it.
in the commercial.
Blake, go back to that commercial.
I can't go back to the commercial.
Yeah, in a loud movie, this is what it intros with, is lettering, and then one of the sexiest things I maybe have ever seen in my entire life. I do also have to admit, when this was playing, because it plays for a lot longer than you'd think, I thought I was getting like rickrolled or something.
No.
Because they just had they hadn't shown you anything other than this. I was like, has to be like someone's playing a prank on me, alone in this movie theater with one other old ass man. And then, so there's Will Porter. I can't remember. Poulter. He's standing in the back. The dude that played Kenny from We're the Millers. There's a couple other.
He plays a Navy SEAL in this movie.
Where's the other mustache?
Yeah.
Okay, so not the guy in front with the mustache, but the one right behind him is Gandolfini's son.
Yeah.
Did you tell me that?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does great.
This is a dude from Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to remember. I recognize one other person, but I can't remember who it was now. It was one of the medics, I think.
Fucking great movie. If you have time
Nice.
to see it in theaters, this is like one to definitely see in theaters.
Oh, yeah.
But I was bringing up that they're also making a I can't remember his name. I can see if I can find it real quick. But they're doing a biopic on a UFC fighter.
Oh,
Matt Hughes?
I don't think so.
I don't think it was Matt Hughes.
I don't think Matt
That'd
Hughes
be pretty
is-
dark.
Yeah.
I saw a dark side of the cage. I met Matt Hughes one time
Oh,
at
really?
a fitness expo in Dallas.
Really?
My,
Oh,
friend, my friend's brother was wrestling at it, and we watched him wrestle. PCW, shout out. I don't know if they're still going in Arlington.
I don't know.
But
I do know we have the Micro Wrestling Federation. We have that around here.
I've heard of that.
It's
I've heard
fun.
of that.
I met a guy named Micro Suave, which was very fun.
That is fun.
Um,
That is a good time.
Mark Kerr.
Mark Kerr, thank you. Yeah, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is playing Mark Kerr, and he looks, I watched the preview of it, he looks incredible.
He's trying to win an
Damn.
Oscar.
I really want to go see this. I think it comes out pretty soon, like May 24th or something like that. But I saw this, and I generally hate Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but this one looks really good.
Yeah. Cargo shorts.
We brought it back.
Before it was a worldwide phenomenon. Pride.
Yeah. Pride and
Good
Glory
times.
days.
And
You
a lot of steroids
UFC
still.
fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, I've watched all those. The Pride.
Oh, really?
Dark Side of the Cage was really good.
Really?
Yeah,
I love
about
those
the-
Vice documentaries.
Yeah.
I gotta get into those. Did you watch any of this last card that just went on? No, maybe
Oh,
not the last card, but the Volkanovski one.
Oh, yeah. I
The
did.
one that, I think I only caught the main event in that one. Who was it? It was the Irish guy versus the Brazilian guy.
Oh, yeah. That was the last weekend. It was Ian Gary
the fight
versus
night.
Prates.
Prates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I meant the one before, but I've got to go back and watch that. I do like Aaron Gary, but
Yeah.
the Volk and
Volk and Diego Lopez.
yeah, Volk and Diego Lopez. But I was bringing it up because I loved watching Bryce Mitchell get his fucking ass beat.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty great.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking hilarious. Oh god, that
Yeah.
was fun. I was trying. What was
Good
the
time.
other the good? Oh, Patty was on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Patty and
Patty the Baddie.
one Michael Chandler. Damn it.
Yeah, it was Michael Chandler.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good fight. If you haven't gone back and watched that, I just found it on Twitter the next day.
I'm waiting for Aspinall John Jones to fight.
Oh yeah. Is that ever gonna happen?
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like Blake, you gave me an opinion on this, and I feel like it was smart. What did you say about the chances of that? Didn't you think Tom Aspinall had it?
I think it's a good chance that the fight gets made, and I think Aspinall is probably going to win just because he's more of a true heavyweight. I don't think John Jones is really a true heavyweight, and the two people he's fought at heavyweight.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I see John Jones losing. I
feel like he just retires. I don't.
He's just. I've read, man. I feel like the couple times I've been like, I don't know about Johnny Bones this time. Those are the times that he comes out and it's just like fucking dominant.
Well, that's what happened with this.
Like, oh wow,
with the Stipe fight. I thought Stipe had a good chance
Yes,
against him, and he just picked him
annihilated
apart.
him.
Yeah.
What was the final one? It was an uppercut while he was bent over.
No, he hit him with a spinning back kick. Hit him with the heel,
that's right.
like right in the liver.
Yeah, that was wild. What was the fight right before that too? That was a crazy end of that card.
Oh shit!
There was a full like.
I remember watching that card.
Someone was on a guy's back and they.
Oh
like,
yeah, that was Michael
fought to their
Chandler and
feet
Oliveira.
and boosh.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Was that the one that he didn't
That was
make?
such a good fight.
He didn't make weight, so it didn't.
No, he made weight.
Okay. Was it that long ago?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Oliveira and Michael Chandler.
I miss The Ultimate Fighter, the reality show.
They're coming out with a new season.
They
DC and Chael are coaching.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. I was thinking about. I
Yeah,
miss the UFC being like for bad people, like for the trash people of the earth. I was watching not the last one, but the one before, and everyone in the bottom row was wearing a suit. Trump dissed Cheryl Hines. RFK was every face down there was like a prestigious person of politics and like of standard in the U.S. government, and it used to just be dudes in monster T-shirts.
Yeah, it used to be Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah.
Anthony
and his child bride of the time.
Yeah, Anthony Kiedis and like yeah.
Yeah.
Who were the old UFC? It was Kiedis.
Paul
Who were the
Walker.
super fans. Paul
Yeah.
Walker. Yeah, I used to love that shit.
A lot of comics just through Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could always see them.
Very
and
true.
then just a bunch of Kyles. Like that was just now it's just the highest class of society. It feels so much like the Roman Colosseum days.
Well, you know what the story is between why Trump is so involved with the UFC.
No, why is
he let Dana use the Trump Taj Mahal in Vegas to do some of their fights when MGN wouldn't.
So now he just kind of owes him.
Yeah, well, they've just always been friends.
Oh,
kind of thing. But
have you heard all the things about Dana going through like just gambling sprees of winning millions of dollars a night?
Yeah.
Damn. No.
He said he was talking on Two Bears, I think, to Tom and Bert, and he was saying like, yeah, I'll play like 3 bets, and if I win millions, I win millions, and sometimes I lose millions, and then I go back the next day and win millions. He's up at so many casinos in Vegas and kicked out of most.
Yeah, he gets banned from casinos all the time.
Damn.
He was trying to teach them how to play Baccarat, and it just sounds like a fucking crack addict.
Yeah,
just
Baku Rotten.
I one time was in a casino in Las Vegas, and I was by all the video slot machines having a great old time. And then this German guy came up to me and he was like, I got to go back up to my room. But look, I think I've completely figured this machine out. And it was like a deal or no deal game.
Okay.
And he explained, he was like, here's what you have to do. But my dumb ass, I'm like, I didn't follow fucking a sentence of it. But I'm like, yeah, all right, sure, got it. Yup. And then he walks off and I'm like, fuck, I really wish I knew what he was saying. But it would have taken me like an hour to get this German guy to repeat himself like 7 times for each component of the plan to beat the deal or no deal.
That's like Beer Fest when they're trying to find like where it's being played at, and they have like the complicated shit. They have to get fucked up to remember it.
I was bummed like on 2 levels because I wanted to win the money, and then also I was like, it's so nice of this guy to just randomly be like, hey, you're the only other person here. Hey, check this out. Weakness in the machine.
That's probably your guardian angel.
Yeah.
It was Scott from the future in a disguise.
old German man.
No, the only time I've been to a casino, and I want to go back, but I only played blackjack, and I was at the blackjack table forever. And this one asshole sat down. He had 2 different cigars lit at the same time, which was insane.
Was he puffing? I'm like,
He had one that was like a half and one that was a full one. And like at some point he was just being an asshole. So I did eventually turn, like, why did you light that at different times? He's like, oh, well, I walked by the thing again and I didn't know when I was going to get up. He's just like, where else are you gonna get $4 Rocky Patels? And it's just
That might be me in the future.
that might be you. But
Sounded like late career Lucille Ball.
he did have some splaining to do. It was bad. But towards the end of our tenure there, he's getting madder and madder because he keeps losing. And on his last hand, he just dumps his drink on the table.
Oh, you can't do that. I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Before he was doing it, he was already getting picked up, I think. Like, they had the eye in the sky on this dude from the beginning. He dumped his drink on the table. And I was just so distraught by this man at this point. I go, I got 2 10s, man. They gave me my hand. They're like, we're so sorry. I'm like, give me those 10s back at the next table. But I want to go back, but I know I'm trash garbage, and I'll just drink all the free drinks and lose.
You need
Yeah,
to go
I
to
played-
Vegas. Yeah.
I played blackjack so briefly. It was like in and out. The dealer was like, I guess, hot. She just was like 21,
Oh, shit.
21. Get the fuck out of my fucking face. Then she spat at me. I was like, whoa, I think you have a lot to learn. You're a great blackjack player,
Right.
but you have a lot to learn about
I'm supposed
hospitality.
to I'm supposed to win 1, so you keep me at the table.
I think it would have been better, actually, if she was cussing and spitting at me. She was just like, done. See
It's
you later.
never the
the
dealer
next.
that's just the bad player at the table.
Yeah.
They're never
Yeah.
the guy with 2 cigars.
It's never Homer Simpson. He's like hitting on 20. Yeah. Yeah, devastating.
Why do I need to go to Vegas though, Blake? I feel like that's where I'd lose everything.
There is a lot of shit to do.
Yeah. Fremont Street.
It's kind of an experience just to walk around. I didn't because I didn't even. I went like after I quit drinking, so I wasn't even. On
okay.
On a
How long have you been
on
sober?
A rager. 10 years.
Congratulations, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
Just past 10 years.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Did you have a thing that set you back, or did you just finally stop on your own?
No, I kind of stopped on my own.
That's
I had
good.
gone to like meetings before I quit for good, but I didn't really go that route once I quit for good. It was
Okay.
more
I was
once I
thinking-
had kind of made that decision, it was
Right.
kind of like a personal thing, and it was kind of like I had kind of closed that door mentally. So
You do seem like as soon as you say you're done with something, you can cut it out.
yeah, I mean, yeah, sometimes I smoke though as we speak, and sometimes I'm like, is it me enjoying it, or is it this addictiveness everyone keeps talking about?
Yeah, there were a lot of people like, "Hey, man, it's not addictive." And you're like, "No, it is."
No, it is.
No,
Right.
you
They knew what they were doing.
you're misconstrued on everything. I'm not addicted to the plant. I'm addicted to the high. That's the fun feeling.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no,
Something to do with your hands.
yeah, that's
That's why Dale from King of the Hill smokes. That was a big reveal. He doesn't know what to do with his hands.
I remember even harder than that was when I was trying to quit dipping snuff. Because from that, the next logical thing you'd think is sunflower seeds, but that's so much worse. That shit tore me up.
I did a bunch of like when I quit dipping, it was like a bunch of like substitutes. Like I did the grounds, the coffee one, and
I tried that one.
the one that's like cannabis. It's like CBD, whatever. Those ones. And it's like I don't think I like really felt a difference or like an energy boost with any of them. It was just that like having something in your lip that
past the
felt somewhat like a dip.
Past the first 2 or 3 times, you don't even really feel it anymore unless you're having just like a really distraught day.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it's just, I like hiding the fact that I'm dipping stuff from my parents. And also, it gives me something to do in the shower other than beating my dick. So
Sure.
it's productive.
You should have done both.
Yeah.
That would have been incredible, but I would have had to sit down.
Yeah.
Standing up in a tub, that's crazy. Take I used to call them shafts, a shower bath. That's a very low point in your life. You don't necessarily stand up after that shower. You just crawl out of the tub and go back to whatever shit meaningless job you have.
Sure.
Yeah, that was sad. I'm sorry. I don't know what that took me back to, but it took
I
me
feel
back
like
to
I'm kind of close to that.
yeah. As soon as you ask me to grab you a shower beer, I know you're in a place that I've touched before, and that's rough. But shout out to my college roommate who was close enough to me to walk in with me naked, just trusting that I was going to put my hand over my dick and hand me a beer, and he wouldn't.
That is trusting.
That's a good friend.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this earlier about you, because you've always been a very calm guy when I've been around you. What does it take to get you heated up?
Sports
Jerry Jones.
in a word, sports.
But do you have like a crash out moment once you get that heat?
Sometimes, like, I think I've gotten a lot better with it, but I used to be pretty road ragey.
Oh, okay.
Not like in like I'm looking to fight someone, but just like, and not like I would drive really aggressively, but I will get mad if something it'll set me off, and I'll.
Okay, so it was more because you were internalizing all that.
Yeah, I'm
That's
called.
nice.
Well, I don't know. I'd call people and stuff.
Oh, okay. So you get it out.
So I get it out
nice.
a little bit.
I'm quick to
Yeah.
realizing that I'm flipping someone off as I'm flipping someone off in traffic. And the other day, I accidentally had an incident when I was going to see Jamie. Do you know Jamie Jakes?
Yes,
He's my chiropractor as well as a good friend. Shout out, buddy. And I was going to see him, and I had flipped off this Tesla that was driving like an asshole, and it was mostly because it had
As
the
you
ugly.
do.
Exactly. It was mostly because it had this stupid wrap on it, but he was also driving like a dick. So I found out I was flipping him off when I was flipping him off, and then
Yeah.
he was just kind of like sitting side straddling me. And I was on my way to go see Jamie anyways. And I start to like text Jamie. I'm like, he's a college wrestler. Maybe it's in my best interest. Like, hey, Jamie, will you step outside just in case?
Hey, Jamie, kick this guy's ass.
Jamie in a tucked in polo, please kick this guy's ass
He
for me.
comes out in his coat. He's like, all right,
Well,
where is he?
and when he's at the
That's
office,
a good
he
chiropractor.
has-
You'd be like, there's a guy on my tail. Oh, I need to take care of. We got a bogey. Picked up another bogey on the way over.
Jamie is my anger consultant. I get there first, and he's massaging the muscle, and then he just figures out that's from me being angry. Because as soon as he presses it, I just yell about someone in the comedy scene. But yeah, no, I flipped him off, and then he was tailing me almost all the way to the chiropractic office. And he had tinted windows, and he finally rolled them down, and he's videoing me. And I just look at him and I start laughing. And then I think he started laughing too. And then he just left. I was just like, this is my moment
That's
where
nice.
I had a moment where I was like, oh yeah, everything's kind of postable now. And I'm just sitting here yelling at this fucking, just both hands off the wheel, just fingers at him. Just, fuck you. And then he just rolls down the window and there's a phone. I go, oh shit.
If only you were famous, you could have made TMZ.
I know. We would have gotten big on the podcast. Just, hey, who's this guy that's flipping everyone off?
You'll never be governor now. That's what that guy was thinking.
Oh God, if I was ever governor, we'd have a really big problem on our hands.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
I start turning to that Patton Oswalt bit about how anyone over the age of 110 should be the president. You just have to listen to his new laws every day. Oh, he had one tag in that joke, and it made me laugh every time. He's, past the age of 12, everyone must marry a pelican. And then his 11-year-old boy's like, Dad, I don't want to marry a pelican. He's like, do as the president says. Now put a can of ravioli in your pants and let's go to school. Patton was the dude. And Skycake. Skycake will forever be the thing.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt. Does he have a new special coming out?
Does he really?
I want to say I saw that on Instagram. Maybe
I
not,
hope so.
though.
I don't, has he put anything out since Annihilated or?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Because that one was tough because half of it about just being his wife passing away.
Annihilation. So good though.
It's so great. He's one of the very few comics I have in my music library on my Apple playlist. And he's the only comic that doesn't get skipped when it comes on. I have 3 or 4 of his comedy albums on there, and I'll listen to all of them.
It's fun to listen. It's fun the random shit that gets in when you have comedy mixed in with music. Like sometimes my iTunes will play. I don't have that on Spotify, but when my iTunes plays randomly when I start my car, it's mostly music, and then I have like a Todd Barry album, an old Tom Segura album, like White Girls with Cornrows.
I have that album. That one's
And
fun.
his I heard randomly the other day that story about finding the kid's wallet. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He's like, your dad's right. You are a piece of shit.
I have your wallet.
I was like, God damn, I forgot that.
The one that came up, I was listening to it must have been something along the lines of Stairway to Heaven, like a very theatrical, in the moment song. You have a feeling about it, whatever it is. And then right after that, I brought this up on the podcast before. It's Patton Oswalt's. There have to be gay retarded people. There have to be gay retards, right? I just want to meet one and hear the chants, We're here. We're queer. apples.
Oh,
Because who
yeah.
doesn't like a nice apple?
I remember that bit. Oh man.
I want an apple and some cock. Oh, he was so silly. I really thank my junior year history teacher for showing me that comedian.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
Well, buddy, we're coming up over an hour. Thank you so much for coming on again. We love having you on.
Of course.
We'd love to
It's
have you
always-
back on in the future.
Always a pleasure.
Will you go ahead and at least plug up your social media so people can find you at home, and if you want to run some more dates so people can come and find you?
Yeah, come check me out. I'm on Instagram at Scott Crisp. That's three P's. I don't know. I don't know why it ended up being three P's. One P was taken. All right, just my name.
Right.
Somebody had that. I don't know who.
Straight to 3.
I don't think that. I don't know who's. Actually, I do. There's another Scott Crisp in Australia. He seems to have a pretty good life. I'm proud of him.
That's cool.
It's
Check
not
in on him.
It's not a contest or anything. But he seems to be doing all right, but not so much better than me that it makes me feel bad. Like I'm bringing down our name.
It's so funny you said that. In college, I found every single Paxton I could on Snapchat and added them all and put them all in a group message. And it's just like, we have to start a revolt. And there is so much less Paxtons than you'd think, because it was like 122. And they're like, man, we're going to have to be really strong.
How down for a revolt were the Paxtons?
Surprisingly, about 30 to 35%.
Damn.
There were a couple of them that had some strong wayward opinions.
People are ready to just join cults. They just need someone to ask.
They really just need...
They need a strong leader. That's
Just
what
the
it
word
is.
revolt. They're like, all right,
That's
cool.
it.
I'm
I haven't
in.
seen that word since Animal Farm. That's pretty cool. I'm in.
Yeah.
So at
exactly.
Scott Crisp,
Scott Crisp on Instagram. Follow the podcast, Oddball History Podcast on Instagram, and subscribe on. We're both on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and subscribe on YouTube too.
oh yeah.
That's a big one. That's
Are y'all doing video on
Video.
Spotify at all?
no. Well, I don't think so. Maybe we are.
We figured out
I'll feel bad if it turns out we are. I don't think so though.
that we could, and then we also figured out that it's a very large hassle just to post that on
probably
there.
Not. Probably
Yeah.
just stick to the audio.
Yeah.
Put the video on YouTube's.
Well, and
on the old YouTubes.
that, and at the day that we're recording this, you just posted one about, was her name Lady Betty?
Yeah, Lady Betty, the hangwoman.
Before we get out of here, I'd love for you to share this story. This was so
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, this was a fantastic story. So there's this woman in the 18th century in Ireland, Lady Betty. She was like an old spinster, and she had a like a lodger come and stay with her, and she killed him, was going to rob him. She's going through his shit, realizes it's her long lost son. All right.
Oh my God.
But so she gets arrested. They're going to execute her. On the day she's to be executed, another like 24, I think, prisoners are supposed to be executed.
Okay.
And the hangman is sick. So Lady Betty's like, I'll hang all these guys if I can live. And they're like, deal. You got yourself a deal.
In any other situation, please hang that lady first. You're like,
Yeah.
I'll kill all of these people.
And apparently, like 3 people had turned down this offer before it got to her. So those 3 people were like, "Oh, what the fuck? I thought this was like a solidarity thing."
It's just bigotry about murder. You're like, a woman can't kill all these people.
Yeah, and she proved them so wrong. She killed the fuck out of people. She did nothing, so she killed all those people to have her life spared, and then she just lived in the prison and killed people and bludgeoned people for crimes within the prison. And then eventually won her freedom as like an old lady. She was freed. She spent like the last 5 years of her life as a free woman.
This needs to be a movie or
For
like an
her.
8-part series.
They said, yeah, they said for her contribution to public safety. It's all in Roscommon, Ireland. Yeah. So, and it was interesting. She was not the first hangwoman in Ireland, but the first one. They don't know her name, but she hanged 2 murderers. It was a similar thing where like she was in jail and they did not record her name, but they did record that everybody got mad at the sheriff for having a woman hanged. Which is
How are you going to have a lady do it?
Yeah.
I can't do an
Yeah.
Irish accent. I just
that
figured
wasn't
out.
bad. That wasn't bad. I wasn't gonna yell at you about it.
I'm just glad it didn't come out cartoony.
Yeah, exactly.
It might be wrong, but it's mine.
Or British.
Yeah, there was a really close chance. The only reason I know how to talk like them is from Robin Williams talking about how to talk like a Scotsman.
Oh yeah.
The old going
remember
drinking
that.
with
I
a
remember
Scotsman
that
is a
interview.
linguistic adventure. You sit down with him and he goes, "All right, shoot, right, golf."
He's so fucking
I
good.
love it.
Fucking love him. Well, that is our show. Thank you so much for watching another episode. If y'all are around June 20th, I have Laugh It Off 4 going on, and great news, I've got re-upped on the contract, so I will be there throughout the rest of the year. So if you can't make June 20th, you can come out anytime, every other month. It is the second to last Friday of every month, or every other month, so come check that out. And other than that, fuck you. I did give myself a flub on my own plug, so that's on me. And then also just follow me at pbailey_comedy, Dingbat District Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And while you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe for a new episode every Tuesday and new clips every single day. Other than that, thank you for watching. Bye.